everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. Today I'm here to show you how I made the fancy fold card that I shared as part of the Creativity Abounds blog hop. I hope you enjoyed the blog hop. It's some amazing creations from demonstrators around the world that we're participating with. And the cool thing is we also have a monthly tutorial that goes along with it. So if you place an order with me during the month of, during this month, which is February, you'll receive the tutorial that contains 13 exclusive and different to what we posted on our blog hop projects that you can make that feature the Dandy Gardens bundle from Stampin' Up. So, or actually the Dandy Gardens product suite, because there are 2 bundles in this amazing product suite. So let me just show you the fancy fold card that I made, and I'll switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Okay, so here's the card. This was actually cased from Tracy Harford. This was part of a stamp count that I participated in. Now I did change it up, definitely changed it up because she didn't use the Dandy Garden, but I also added some ribbon here to hold it closed. So I really like this fancy fold. So when you open it, so the ribbon just kind of holds it closed. This piece goes forward. Oops. And then it opens like this so that you can write your sentiment in it. So let me show you how I made it. Okay, so I've got my card base. Now I'm using the thick basic white and bring in my trimmer and my scoring tool. So this is cut. All of the measurements and written instructions for this are on my blog. So if you don't get them written down as I go through them. So this piece is cut 7 inches by 5.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Oops. There we go. There we go. Okay. So then you can take and just fold the front flap and give it a good crease. You want this to have a good crease so that it folds and stays closed nicely. But that is why I added the ribbon, the twine around it. So now I've got a piece of designer series paper. Isn't this amazing paper? This is the Dandy Garden designer series paper. This is cut 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and this piece will go on the inside, the left edge of the inside of your card, like that. Okay, so then I have another piece of designer series paper. This one is cut 2.5 by 5 1/4, and this is going to go on the front flap like this. The colors are just so amazing. So this is Blackberry Bliss, one of my favorites. Okay. Now the other piece, and I should have scored this while I had my tool. So this is cut 1 1/2. This is Bumblebee. It's cut 1 1/2 by 4, and I'm just going to score this at 1/2 inch. And we're going to give this a good burnish so it folds. This is one definitely you need to give a good with your bone folder. Oh, and you know what I should have done before you do this? Nice pieces. I should be able to gently lift this off before you put your designer series paper. I got ahead of myself here. Down. You want to tuck your piece of Bumblebee in underneath with this in the middle. So tuck it up against the designer series paper, and then that will hold it in place. There we go. Okay, so that folds like that. Again, use your bone folder just to keep creasing that so that it stays in place. Okay, so now I've got an extra piece. This is a piece of Bumblebee, and I've got a piece of basic white. What I'm going to do is bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to cut 2 circles. One circle, one I'm going to cut from, so I'm using these are the, I've got the layering circles and I've got my stitch shapes. And so this one is the largest of the stitch shapes, and I'm going to cut that out of the bumblebee. And then this one is the second largest of the layering circles, not the scallop. And that is going to cut, I'm going to cut my piece of basic white from. Make sure this is on my platform. There we go. Cut these out. Sorry about that noise. Sometimes my plates are a little bit warped here. I'm waiting for new ones to arrive. I use them so much. All right, so then you can peel those off. This off to the side. And my extra paper. So now I'm going to open. I'm using Blackberry Bliss. This back because I need it. All right, so, and, oh, my stamp set. Forgot the stamp set. Okay, so this is the stamp set. This is the Dandy Garden or Dragonfly Garden stamp set that coordinates with this amazing punch. So I'm using this swarm image and You Are an Inspiration. This one. So I'm going to stamp the You Are an Inspiration just on this scrap of bumblebee, and I'll cut that out in a minute. And then I'm going to stamp on the white. I'm going to stamp a background of this kind of swarm of little dragonflies. There. Just to give some detail behind my dragonfly that I'm going to punch. Now I've got a piece. One of the cool things about this designer series paper is you can actually cut out dragonflies from it. Now I've cut out in the middle. I don't know why I did that. I cut out probably for this card where I cut the purple dragonfly. So we're going to use this Calypso Coral dragonfly for this one. So it fits perfectly to punch out. And save this because we're going to use that little dragonfly that it cut out as well. Okay, so we're going to use dimensionals. Not those. These. Use the regular size dimensionals. And we're going to pop up this circle on top of the bumblebee circle, the stitch circle. And the circle fits perfectly in there. And then we're just going to take this, and I tend just to fold up is the wings of the dragonfly, and just put a couple of dimensionals in the middle. And then you can take your mini dimensionals, grab one, and we'll use that. I'm going to use the Blackberry Bliss side for this dragonfly. I'll put him here. Okay, so let's bring this card back in. So you can see this folds like that over. So you want to cover this end with your circle. So it'll go like that. So I'm going to apply my Stampin' Seal directly onto here, over here. I just want to make sure this holds. And now you can position your circle like that. Oh, you know what I did? Getting my head of myself. I'm not doing very well here with, so let's take this off, because before you do that, sorry about that, you want to put your ribbon on, or your twine. And the way I did this was, I have 2 pieces of twine here. So you want a piece that's fairly long and is going to fit around this side of it. Actually, what you could do is just cut one piece and have it go completely under. So that probably works as well. So cut one piece, leave extra, so you can tie a bow and wrap it around like this, and then you can trim it however long you want it, and you'll be able to tie the bow. And now your circle can go back on. Oops, like that, there. And now your bow will tie here, like that. So that just holds your card in play and closed. And then I'm just going to take and fussy cut around this inspiration. You can punch it if you want. You can use a label die. But I'm just going to take and fussy cut it. And I'm not too worried. I'm just trying to leave a little bit, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch of bumblebee color around the image itself. And then I'm going to take a couple of dimensionals, maybe a little one for this end. That's the beauty of having the 2 sizes. You can combine them. And then I'm just going to put this "You Are an Inspiration" down here. And the last thing that I want to do is I'm going to take a dimensional, one of the mini dimensionals, and just put them on there. These cute little ladybug, can you see them? Ladybug trinkets are so adorable. So I'm just going to take, you can use a glue dot if you want, but I'm going to use a mini dimensional to pop him up. There. Closed. So this is great. There's 20 in one of these packages, so they go a long way as long as you're not putting, you know, like 5 or 6. So that's my card. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me switch back over to my desktop. So I hope you enjoyed the card. I hope that was clear about how I made it. As I said, the written instructions will be on my blog, and the link to that blog is underneath the video. So you can go out and get the written instructions as well as the measurements for the card. If you have questions, please post them on this YouTube video or on my blog, and I'm happy to help you and answer those questions. And while you're here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you're notified when I post new videos. So I hope you enjoyed that. Bye everybody. Thanks for joining me.